Hello, everybody. Welcome to this webinar about the two open positions ALMA Observatory has now open and you can submit your applications over the ALMA website. The open positions are the Joint ALMA Observatory Development Project Manager and Joint ALMA Observatory Development System Engineer. We are very happy to be with you here today, connected, and really thank you for joining us today. There are some little technical difficulties apparently with a Facebook connection. So if you are planning to watch us on Facebook and you're not maybe looking, you can try our streaming through LinkedIn, YouTube, or Twitter. So before we start with the panelists, we will show you three short videos, one presenting the observatory, another one presenting the positions, and a third one presenting also about the position and how it is to work at ALMA. They are very short, so we expect the three of them in total about 8 minutes. So I leave you with the videos, and when we're back, we start with the webinar and panelists. I will introduce you the panelists. See you.
ALMA, in search of our cosmic origins. Located high in the Andes mountain range, the 66 antennas that make up the Atacama large millimeter submillimeter array, ALMA, are an imposing sight. Under one sky, more than 20 countries embark upon a scientific endeavor that can only be realized through collaboration. North America, Europe, East Asia, and Chile work together to answer humankind's fundamental questions. Northern Chile was chosen as the site for ALMA because the Atacama Desert is the driest in the world. Its atmosphere, almost devoid of water vapor, enables detection of some of the faintest signals from the universe. Over 16,500 feet above sea level and covering distances of up to 10 miles of the Chajnantor Plateau, the ALMA antennas work as a single large telescope. A supercomputer combines and synchronizes all of their signals in real time. Thanks to this engineering and scientific feat, we're learning about the cold universe, the secrets of planet formation, and the chemical elements that constitute the building blocks of life. Professionals from around the world work for ALMA, pushing the limits of knowledge every day. In Chile, about 50 staff members are based in Santiago, while another 200 work in shifts at the Operations Support Facility close to the town of San Pedro de Atacama. Most of the staff works in the offices, laboratories, and antenna control room of this facility at an altitude of 9,500 feet. Others ascend to the Chajnantor Plateau at 16,500 feet to maintain and relocate the antennas, among other tasks. Strict safety protocols are crucial under these conditions. Thanks to leisure and residential facilities, staff can lead a healthy lifestyle, playing sports and games, watching movies, enjoying nutritious meals, and resting in comfort. ALMA plays a key role in global astronomical efforts. Along with other radio telescopes, it allowed the first image of a black hole to be captured. Without ALMA, that goal would have been unattainable. The Chilean astronomical community actively participates in ALMA research and discoveries, using its 10% of observing time. The radio telescope also contributes to workforce development and supports national and regional scientific, technological, and outreach projects. An example of the latter are the thousands of visitors who tour the facilities each year. ALMA respects the local Licanantay or Atacameño indigenous culture, supporting educational and other projects in the town of Toconao in San Pedro de Atacama, preserving archaeological heritage sites, and protecting the unique flora and fauna of the region, to name a few initiatives. Mirroring the antennas that work in unison with one goal, under the same sky, the international collaboration that ALMA embodies continues the search of our cosmic origins.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Stuart Corder, and I'm the Deputy Director and Operations Manager at ALMA, the Atacama Large Millimeter Submillimeter Array. And I'm looking for two people, one a system engineer and the other a project manager, to work with me and my team on taking ALMA from where it is now and evolving it through to be the world-leading telescope in the next 2 decades, not just completing upon what we've done in the last few years. These two positions are really going to work both internally within the Chile construction of ALMA, basically trying to operate the upgrade while we continue to actually do science observations with the existing telescope, and at the same time working with the ALMA partners in the regions who have a lot of the technology development that's been continuing for the last 15 years since ALMA started construction back in the early part of this millennium. And we'll be working with them to coordinate and even constructing on our own some parts of the development and integrating all of this together into a core update of the fundamental ALMA system. Now, this is going to be very challenging to do in and of itself, and also while running the telescope for regular operations. But the people that will be coming along and taking these positions will have my support in both getting the resources that they need and also being able to go and advertise the development program to various bodies around the world, like SPIE and ADAS, depending on the inclinations of the person. And so there's an opportunity to grow both in sort of world purview as a project manager, a system engineer, and also really help deliver some fantastic new science at ALMA over the course of the next 15 to 20 years. I hope you apply, and I look forward to working with you. Thank you very much.
So the ALMA 2030 project is incredibly exciting because it's going to upgrade the ALMA telescope, which will let it perform really cutting-edge transformational science for many decades to come.
We need to develop new tools to analyze the vast amounts of data that the ALMA 2030 project will generate. I hope you apply for these positions to help us make ALMA 2030 succeed.
Si te gusta combinar la ciencia, la tecnología y la ingeniería, te invito a postular a estos cargos que están disponibles en el Observatorio ALMA. Primero, Development Project Manager. Este debe coordinar, orquestar los distintos centros de desarrollo de ALMA. Además, debe administrar los plazos, riesgos y priorizaciones de los proyectos de upgrade. Segundo, tenemos el cargo de Development System Engineer. Este debe administrar las actualizaciones de los requerimientos e interfaces, gestionar el aseguramiento de la calidad, gestionar el impacto y los riesgos de los proyectos de upgrade. ¡Te esperamos!
El trabajo en ALMA es muy dinámico. No solo nos enfocamos en la astronomía. Debemos enfrentar desafíos, por ejemplo, en diversas áreas de la ingeniería, como mecánica, electrónica, computacional. Y al mismo tiempo aprendemos mucho de la enorme diversidad cultural que existe en el observatorio.
Me gusta trabajar en ALMA por el ambiente de trabajo, por las personas que tenemos, el equipo humano, y porque es un proyecto científico que está aportando a la humanidad.
Para mí lo mejor de trabajar en ALMA es la interacción que tenemos día a día con las personas que conformamos los distintos equipos de trabajo dentro del observatorio. Aquí cada persona es importante y es un lugar de trabajo excepcionalmente multicultural y respetuoso con cada uno de los que conformamos ALMA.
So, there we are. Everybody here. Perfect. Hello, everybody. How are you?
Hi, Nico. How are you doing?
So,
hello, everyone.
I'm here with all the connected panelists. They will introduce themselves one by one in very shortly, and then we're going to start receiving questions from the public. You can leave your question, please, over the comments in the same streaming. Okay. So let's start by Andrea.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm glad to see you're somehow interested in these two positions. I'm Andrea Araya. I'm currently the lead document specialist at the Observatory. My role resides mainly in tracking and controlling the computing, engineering, and safety documentation processes to ensure we keep a high quality of our documentation. Later, we can talk about the required data for new development projects and how they are produced and verified. I think I'm the weirdo from this highly respectable panel since I come from the humanist field. I'm a linguist, translator, and interpreter. But I also like to think that my experience as a non-STEM person from the basis is valuable to understand the importance of sharing and expressing our knowledge is crucial for ALMA. I just mentioned non-STEM person. The acronym STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. I've certainly been preparing my educational background to support the technical responsibility I have. But I want to let you know today that you can always expand your professional intentions beyond the limited or restricted roles. Because I started my road at ALMA back in 2012 as the last higher doc specialist from a group of 5 members, and I am now formally just by myself in the management documentation projects and control processes. But informally, I'm always in good company, working directly with my peers across the ALMA departments. And when I say peers, I mean the director, mechanics, secretaries, managers, team coordinators, and definitely the future development system engineer and project manager. So welcome you all.
Excellent, Andrea. Thank you very much. Let's continue with Sue.
Hi, my name is Sushan. I'm an electrical engineer. I have been working in ALMA for more than 14 years. And my role in ALMA is engineering service group manager. So our team, what we do is we have very talented people that's in charge of planning, definition of the maintenance activities. We also have the technical leads, the engineer, which is have very good deep knowledge about each domain, and they support the operations when they face difficult problems, technical problems. We also have we're also in charge of the CMS, our ERP, in order to gather all the activity related to the maintenance. That's it.
Thank you, Sue. Thank you very much. Let's continue with Liz. Stuart, if you want, you can turn your camera off because you have a little problem with your connection, I think.
Okay, so hi everyone. It's great that you're interested in these positions that we have at the ALMA Observatory. I'm Liz Humphreys. I'm head of the Department of Science Operations here at ALMA. That's a department of about 40 to 50 people who are responsible for taking ALMA data for processing it, for checking the quality of the data, and then arranging for the data to be sent out worldwide for scientists to use to make discoveries about the universe. So I think these positions and ALMA 2030 is so exciting for the Department of Science Operations because we're going to have a new set of capabilities, an upgraded telescope to work with that will really keep us on the cutting edge of discoveries, I believe, for the upcoming decades. Because we're going to be using and implementing on the user side, all of the capabilities that come to ALMA. I believe these positions will be working very closely with DSO to make sure we're brought in at the right time. We develop the expertise in the department to really make sure that we deliver on our end of ALMA 2030. So I think that we're really looking forward to having very close interactions with these positions to bring about this great new vision for ALMA.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you very much. Stuart, are you still here with us?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Excellent. Okay. So we hear you very well. If you want to just introduce yourself. Okay, otherwise we continue. John, we continue with you and we take over with Stuart afterwards.
Sure. Hello, everyone. My name is John Carpenter. I'm the ALMA Observatory scientist. My general role is to basically provide scientific input to the various teams. So as the engineers and operations, as they do these upgrades and figure out how best to do it, they may need trade-offs may need to be made. And so I provide some of the more scientific input. What would be acceptable from the scientist's point of view, what would be something that we really need, and therefore we have to find other compromises. So basically trying to provide an input from the science perspective as we do these upgrades. So I've been here at ALMA for about 6 years now, and I've always been involved in telescopes. And I came to ALMA because it was the best telescope of its kind in the world, and it was just fun to be at the forefront of the science.
Thank you very much. Stuart, are you back now? Okay. Felipe then. You're muted, Felipe. You need to turn on your microphone. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. This is Felipe Salinas from HR department. I am HR officer. I have been working for ALMA for about 1 year, 8 months approximately. And I am supporting different processes like internal communications, recruitment and selection, training, part of the benefits, internal policies, among others. But most important, trying to keep people engaged with the organization, listen people, and get to know them. So very happy to have you all here today and very open to attend all your questions, formal and juicy questions that you may have.
Thank you very much, Felipe. And let's see if this time Stuart is able to talk. Stuart? This is your last chance, I think. Okay, we'll continue. So, John, can you present a little about the 2030 plan? And people are eager to hear about it because they are already asking about that.
Okay, so yeah, let me take a step back. And so when the ALMA partnership was created, the founders made a very smart decision, and then they allocated an annual funding profile just to enhance ALMA, new developments for ALMA, to improve it. And that's because technology doesn't stand still, and it always gets better. You can always make ALMA better in order to even enable even more science later on. What the ALMA 30 roadmap is, it basically lays out the priorities over the next decade of the developments we would like to do in order to enhance ALMA. And so this is a document, a roadmap has been approved by the ALMA board of directors. And so it's basically, it lays out the vision for the entire project, and also the entire community to let them know what the next steps we want to do. Now, the top priority of all this, of the priorities that were identified, it is basically upgrade our receivers and this associated electronics. The receivers basically detect the astronomical signals from the sky, allows us to, detect galaxies and black holes, and so we want to make those better, but you just can't upgrade the receivers. You have to upgrade the entire pathway, all the electronics, and even the output of where we store the data, because we're just going to generate massive amounts of more data than we currently have now. And that's the challenge. All these systems, all these different subsystems of ALMA have to be working together, and that's the role of these two new positions, is trying to coordinate all these different groups in order so we can upgrade the electronics and the receivers all throughout our system. So basically the summary, the ALMA roadmap is basically a prioritized list of what we want to do over the next decade in order to enhance ALMA and enable further scientific discoveries.
Thank you, John. So, well, Stuart has a really difficult connection, so we're gonna continue without him anyway. But I would like to know if Liz, you would like to add something to the 2030 roadmap. Did
Well, I think it's as John said, we have this list of items we want to do, which is only going to make ALMA better and better. So these roles will have these very important, I think, positions both in the observatory in Chile. They'll also have this international aspect of working with all of our partners globally and worldwide on getting these upgrades planned and done so that we can do even further exciting science in the future years. So I just wanted to say, I think that these positions are just so critical, both in Chile, but both globally as well. And also that it's going to be a case of really interacting, I think, with many different specialties in the observatory, as John highlighted, science operations, engineering, computing, and others. So it's going to have many different aspects to the roles, and they're very important roles.
Thank you, Liz. Maybe Sue can help us a little with the different interactions both roles will have inside the organization?
Different interaction between the different teams, you mean?
Yeah, between the different teams.
Well, in ALMA we have several departments. We have the science department, Liz is running, with John. We have engineering department, which I'm part of. And there's a computing department and logistics department as well. And so all the departments are working together in order to define a goal, objective, which is to do science. And you must be aware that in the observatory, there are more engineers than scientists. So there's a lot of work from the engineering point of view to achieve the final goal, to do science. So we have a lot of hardware, very special hardware, very specific hardware that's made for ALMA, and you can only find them in very few institutes, which are most of them are institutes that collaborate with ALMA, and those hardware must be maintained over the time. So we have the engineering team taking care of that, and this hardware must be coordinated by software. So there's a software team and software computing department which take care about all the networking aspect, all the system aspect, and also the software. The software is a custom-made software, is designed and developed especially for ALMA. And once the data is available, all these hardware and software together allow you to collect the data, drive the antenna, drive all the devices to collect the data and correlate the data in the correlator. Once the data is obtained out from the correlator, that goes to our archive, and then the scientists start doing their work, their job to analyze and then support other astronomers. And all these teams I mentioned is supported by the logistics team, the finance team, in order to do the procurement, the traveling, and all those kind of details. And remember, we are living, our observatory is in a desert, and nothing is easy in a desert. Yeah. Just to obtain the water is difficult, obtain the electricity is difficult, everything is difficult, we have to take care of that.
Thank you, Sue. So we're going to start answering some questions I'm receiving over the comments in the different platforms. I'm very thankful people are asking questions, and you can continue to do so. And I will try to orient the question to the different panelists, but if, of course, one of the panelists feel is better placed than the one I orient the question to answer, please raise your hand or give me a sign, and I, of course, give you the opportunity to talk about it. Okay, so let's start with one simple question. Where are these positions based? And I think that could be answered by Felipe.
Yes. These positions are based in Santiago premises. Nevertheless, there could be some specific requirements for the people to go to the OSF, which are located our technical offices, technical premises in Antofagasta. But the positions are going to base in Santiago.
Okay, so most of the time in Santiago with visits to the observatory in near San Pedro de Atacama, that's right? And,
that's right.
Yes, Sue?
Yeah,
please.
This role will coordinate with the different partner executives or investigation centers outside of Chile. So they must be willing to travel abroad as well.
Okay, so, and these centers are based, are located in Europe, in Garching, no? Correct me if I'm wrong. In Japan, near Tokyo, and in Charlottesville, no? In the United States, no? But are these position local contract, or international contract, Felipe, please?
Yes, both positions will be local contract positions, so subject to the local Chilean legislation.
Thank you very much.
Yes, and to complement a little bit about this, both positions are very relevant for the organization because in terms of the grade of the level of the position, it's going to be with a lot of responsibilities, interacting, as Sue has mentioned, with different stakeholders within ALMA located here in Chile, but also with the different stakeholders in Europe, also North America and Japan. So these positions are crucial in order to become with the good results for the ALMA 2030 on the next projects coming.
Excellent. Just 1 second. And somebody is asking if the roadmap 2030 document is public, and I will answer that myself. It is on the website, and I will put in a couple of seconds the address to it on the screen. Okay. So Andrea, can you please help me with this question? Besides your academic and professional profile, what do you think are the key characteristics to be successful and at ALMA?
Well, it is probably a quality rather than an ability, but I like to call it desire, and that is the curiosity. Not only as an intrinsic value to do science, but the impulse to learn what is out of your background box, if you want. Without trying to be self-referenced, it is my own story. Everything can be learned if you have that desire, and the willingness to share that knowledge helps you to enhance your own communication abilities and helps in the collaboration to make your peers bigger. In my opinion, you can carry plenty of technical credentials with you, but if you don't expand them and if you don't share them with respect, they can be sorely wasted. So I think values are critical more than abilities from my perspective. So I don't know, I hope you can bring your high standards in terms of excellent, but please don't leave the respect to face the diversity at home.
Thank you, Andrea. Is there anyone who wants to add something to different skills, different things beside like the traditional? Thank you, Liz.
Yeah, I just wanted to say at ALMA, I think there's a really great collaborative spirit that when we have challenges we need to meet, we come together as an observatory and figure out how to do them and work on them together. And I find that to be a really great part of the atmosphere of working at ALMA. So I would say one of the characteristics that's really good for working in the ALMA Observatory is team player and collaboration, and really thinking, yeah, if we get any issues or exciting new challenges to deal with, that we look at how we can work on those together.
Thank you very much, Liz. So I have another question here from Gonzalo. What specialty do you seek for the position of project manager? Is that an electrical, a mechanical, industrial? And this one, I'm not sure if maybe Sue or Felipe can help me. Sue.
Well, system engineer is you don't. Yeah, maybe now it's possible, but 10 years ago, you don't learn system engineer in a university. You become a system engineer when you have a lot of experience in any kind of field that you just mentioned, but you must have a concept of architecture on your mind, a concept of system of systems, and that allow you to have this big picture view about what you are building. And you don't need to be very good in all the different specialty, but at least you must be good at one. You must be very good as an electrical engineer or as a software engineer, or even as a mechanical engineer. You can become a very good system engineer.
Thank you, Sue. Thank you very much. Okay. This is a question for Felipe. Is this position with a temporary contract or indefinite contract? And is there a relocation offered?
This is not temporary contract. Actually, this is indefinite contract position, both. And as for now, for both positions has not been considered relocation package, as this is a local position. And both are based in Santiago, as we have commented in the past.
Thank you very much. So Vicente from LinkedIn asked, what kind of deliverables the 2030 plan considers? And beyond hardware and software upgrade, for instance, more antennas are considered? Maybe John or Liz can help you?
I can field that one. So a primary upgrade is upgrading our receivers. So these are the detectors that detect the astronomical signals. And so these are receivers that are developed in other regions, and they're delivered to the project, and we have to install them here at ALMA. There's also what we call the correlator, which processes the signal from those receivers. And then we have all this associated electronics between the receivers and the correlator that have to be upgraded. And then you finally have the data processing itself. We have to deliver all this data to the community. There's going to be order of magnitude more data in many cases. So Liz is going to we have to make it so Liz can process that data and deliver it to the user so they can actually do their science. So that's going to be the main package that we're going to be working on over the next decade. The roadmap does talk about more antennas, but that's not really on the high priority plan. The high priority plan is really to upgrade the receivers, electronics, the correlator, and our data processing, so we can deliver, so we can do these surveys type of observations more, much better for the community.
Thank you. There's a complementary question with this one. Is there will there be a funding supply chain procedure to support the project development, or will it be managed as per the current approach by the general management? I think John is also the one to answer that.
I mean, the initial idea is that most of these funds will come out of the ALMA development program, and so that's an annual funding program, annual funding amount that's given from the regions, and so that's going to be the primary source of funds. However, our aspirations are always much bigger than what we can get, than what the ALMA development program can actually support. And that is something, so if you want to go even beyond that, then that is something that we'll need to get additional funding from the partners. But the primary source of funding will be from the ALMA development program.
Thank you. Another question is, are project management protocols developed already, or is it necessary to develop those protocols? Maybe Sue can jump in here.
If I understood the question is, well, we have a clear process and procedures associated and definition about what we need in this different ALMA 2030 project, how the review process must be handled, and what's the different stage that each of development institute must be fulfilled in terms of project management and system engineering process. So that is quite clear. We have a product assurance information as well. So in terms of is that the protocol he's asking for? Yeah, that's already established.
Thank you. Andrea, do you have something to add?
Just to complement Sue and John's interventions regarding the deliverables, there's also, we have the way to proceed on those in terms of documentation as well. Traceability is very important for us. And when we get the deliverables, besides processing and the integration, we need to produce a specific type of documents. And we have a specific way to manage those processes. When we have specifications that affect one or two different system or subsystems, there is a way to control that documentation as a CCB process, which is the configuration control board. And that is all written. We have already those protocols, if that helps. And that is something that we will let you know in these two positions when they both fulfill. But yes, we have a process specific in our documentation department, so you can understand how the deliverables will work with that and the whole process of new development projects.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you very much. So on the 2030 plan, is it already aligned with the long-term ALMA science? And this might be some from Liz and John. I would like to hear here, I think.
Maybe I can start then and say, well, it is aligned, I believe, with the long-term ALMA science, because John was an author of the roadmap, and he's the observatory scientist responsible for the long-term health, scientific health of the observatory. So that's what I would say. But John, please go ahead.
No, yeah, I mean, this you said it right. I mean, it absolutely is aligned with our science objectives. You know, we have many goals. We have to understand the origin of the galaxies, to understand the origin of chemistry and origins of planets, and the ALMA 2030 roadmap all is aligned to make us to have new discoveries in all of those areas. So yeah, it's definitely aligned with our scientific priorities.
Thank you, thank you. So is the position of system engineer strongly tied with the IT area?
Yeah, I can answer that question. I would say no. But it's very good to have those kind of knowledge. It's desirable, but it's not mandatory.
Thank you. Just John, there's someone who wants to clarify if, when you talked about receivers, you were talking about the specific bands.
Yeah, so we want to, we have, well, ultimately we're going to have 10 receiver bands, and yeah, so basically, yes, those receiver bands is the ones that we want to upgrade.
Excellent, excellent. Is there a project management methodology already implemented? Like here, I don't know what they are talking about, but maybe you can help me. Like PMI or Prince.
I won't say that we are strictly following some specific discipline that PMI or Prince or other. And remember that ALMA is kind of unique in the sense of it's not a standardized industry, a factory. So what we do is we check the different standards and we take the best of that that's suitable for us. So we have our own way to do system engineering and project management. Some people may say that's good, some people may say that's not correct, but it's the way that we do.
Excellent. I have another simple question here. When should the selected persons start? Felipe maybe can help us, or John, or Liz.
Yesterday. Yes. Now, well, we have quite some time to choose the right profile, the motivated people for the positions and so on. So, of course, it's important to have both positions filled soon. But the most important thing for us is to choose the right people for the organization. So we don't have any specific timeline on mind. I would say in some way, preferably before the end of the year. But yes, we are taking our time to see as much as people as we can, and then select the most confident person for the role.
Okay. Is there in the upgrade plan an opportunity to collaborate with the SKA or the next generation VLA in the planning? And I will say John or Liz on that one.
It's an interesting question. I mean, I think certainly there's going to be a lot we have to learn from each other. I mean, I don't think there's necessarily a direct collaboration, but we do learn from each other. Especially, we've had several meetings with the SKA where they talk about what we're doing and what they're doing, and there's going to be, they're going to have data challenges as well. But in terms of the direct upgrades, probably not. But but certainly there's a lot of discussion between the observatories and trying to learn from each other.
I mean, I think most of the science is done collaboratively. So even there are going to be people observing with both telescopes and probably joining them. And
yeah, scientifically, there's many collaborations. Yes.
Okay, so are there some kind of formation previously to acquire the position, and is there some time in the practices to get involved? And I think anyone can step in here. I mean, I will rephrase the question maybe. What I understand from that is, do you need to know a lot about ALMA and radio astronomy before acquiring the position, or not? Maybe Sue, you can help here?
Yeah, I would say no, you don't need to know, but it will help a lot in your work and your application if you have a radio astronomy background, how maintenance or manufacturing process experience in other area, and that's very important. That will help, but it's not mandatory.
It's not mandatory. Okay. What are the the grow perspective of the position? Like, what are the midterm growth perspective of this kind of position? Maybe you can start. We can start by Felipe, but then I would love to hear from John or Tu or Liz or Andrea.
To reply to that question, Nicolas, I would say we don't have any specific project for this specific role. The reason why is because this person could learn about everything. We'll interact with different participants from different countries, different specialists, and other people from other departments too, with different background. So I would not reduce the options for the people to grow in the organization in one just specific path. I will keep it open to develop a professional career opportunities internally, depending on the way that the person moves internally in the organization and the things that it can be absorbed during the experience that the person is getting in the organization.
This seems like quite high profile position, so it might feel like difficult to grow in it, but I think both of you, John and Liz, and Sue, the three of you, have already had experience of having high profile positions in this kind of organization, and you still grow afterwards. So maybe you can tell us a little about those experiences. Liz, go on.
Yeah, okay. So one of the things I'd say is really great about ALMA, or what I found, is I'm learning all the time, because I came from an astronomy background and now I'm in ALMA in the observatory. I'm interfacing with engineering, computing, and lots of different people with different backgrounds, technical backgrounds, as Felipe already said. So I would say the opportunity for learning and growing never stops. I'd also say about the particular positions that are being advertised, they are highly visible, important roles in the observatory, as we already said, in Chile and worldwide. So I think there's going to be loads of exciting variety and different things to work on all the time. So I'd say there's loads of room for growth in them, and it's going to be exciting positions.
Sue, you want to add something?
Yes, well, our structure is quite plain, so this is already a very high-level position. So in terms of career, I think that won't change much. But in terms of experience, in terms of knowledge, and knowledge in different field, different kind of technology, depending on the preference of the applicant, they can learn a lot from software, from hardware, from the astronomy and logistic and maintenance approaches. All kinds of discipline they can learn a lot.
Okay, excellent. Just to compliment Felipe answers before, because I have a Stuart over a different chat answering something, so he wants to add that a relocation can be considered in case of the candidate is a suitable one. Okay, this one, let's go back to an easy one. Is English mandatory? And the answer for me is yes, but I don't know if Felipe wants to add something on that.
Yes, absolutely. This position is very relevant, especially because we have defined already that it will interact with different stakeholders, not only in Chile, also in some other countries. So it's very, very important that the person selected for this any position here have very good advanced English level. It's a must for this position, for both positions.
Thank you. Is there an internal a time for integration for incorporation process, like an adaptation time considered, or not?
Yes, I can reply to that. Actually, we have an onboarding process for all the people that join the organization. So yes, that integration process will be there. Also, we have some other specific trainings or interactions with people that can help the new collaborators, employees to skill up in terms of knowledge of processes, ALMA, the general knowledge, and so on. So yes, the answer is yes. You will receive help from the, let's say, backup process in terms of administration knowledge, benefits, and so on, among others. But also on the technical side, you will receive help on that front too.
Thank you, Felipe. Andrea?
Yeah, just to complement, we are all willing to help everybody. I mean, these two positions are high-level positions, but we are all with our arms open to receive them and to help them in the not only in the technical aspect, but also to help them in make this position visible in terms of communication abilities. If you need any help, I think we're all ready to help these two positions. And the process of adaptability is an ongoing process as well. And just to complement what Sue and Liz were saying in the previous question, growing is not just an issue of being promoted in your grade or in your role, but also taking the possibility to talk to everybody here in the different roles will help with the growing continue process, but also in your beginning. So I think it's very related to the other question, and we will be helping these two positions, these two persons to grow and to be prepared to start, although you start the time you put your first feet in the observatory.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you very much. Sorry for this because I have a lot of different comments, so I need to go over them. Okay. Are there any time window of experience, like a minimum set of years of experience, a maximum set of years of experience expected for both positions?
I think in the advertisement we said 5 years or more for both positions.
Okay, and are there an upper limit of that or not?
No.
Can I complement something here?
Of course.
What Sue has mentioned is correct. Nevertheless, when we are talking about the number of years, we are talking about the number of years related with similar functions or positions. So, for example, someone that has been recently graduate and have only 5 years of experience, I would say could have some chance to have some opportunities to be considered in some position. But most important, for the people that have 5 years in advance for similar positions or similar roles, will take more advantage, most probably, for the other people that don't have relevant experience in terms of years and so on. So we are talking about 5 years in the field, most likely.
Excellent. I will add a banner here. Yeah, people were asking where do they find the application process, so I just put it on the screen. Let's get back to the comments. Okay. This one is a funny one. Do you need to be a genius for the position?
Of course you have. No, you don't need to be genius. You don't need you need to be persistent in what you like and what you want to achieve. You need to have a lot of patience and tolerance to frustration. And of course, we're asking you to have solid knowledge in at least one of the fields that we already mentioned before: mechanical, electrical, computing, and or science. That's important. But you don't need to be a genius. I don't consider myself a genius, at least.
Maybe Liz, you want to add something?
Absolutely not. I'm no genius. I think the people who work at ALMA is just exactly as Sue said. We love ALMA. We're working for ALMA towards a common goal, and I think that's what's happening at ALMA. So no, I don't think there's any need to be a genius.
Thank you. We all feel nobody feels like a genius here. Okay, so
none of us are genius here. I don't want to talk. Don't want to take the speak of everybody, but as I said in my introduction, I even come from the humanist field, and I felt very confident here working with my colleagues and working with everybody, and I'm far from being genius. And no, you just need to have the willingness to learn and just be creative in terms of expressing what you want and what you have to share with everybody, but far from genius.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you. So we're almost on time here, but I have one last question. I really like it because, and maybe I kind of like this one, and you will see why. Is there time to do outreach in the role? And I think I can start with, but probably I will want somebody to complement. But I think everybody can do some kind of outreach in ALMA. I mean, we have an outreach department. I'm the coordinator. Valeria is the head of the team, and we do a lot of different actions, and we seek for the support of the different departments of the observatory. And I mean I've been working with all the people present here, and of course we're very happy to integrate more people in the different voluntary and not so voluntary actions we do. I don't know if Liz or John can tell something about it.
John, I think you've been doing lots of work with EPO. We all have, as Nico said, and we've got such a fantastic EPO department here. But John, I think, over to you.
As Liz said, and I mean, most of us do some type of outreach, and I think if you're excited about doing outreach, I think that would be personally, I think that would be fantastic. I think it benefits the community, and it conveys the excitement about what's work at ALMA. So I think it'd be great.
Excellent. So let's end with these optimistic words. I think if you have more questions, of course, please send them to the HR email, which is hr@alma.cl. You can, for application, the website is sticking under the screen now, and this is a good question. Sorry, I don't want to leave it out. With the position of people under the chart, like, will it lead people?
I can answer. Well, no, this position doesn't have direct supervision or another staff, and that makes it even more challenging. So they need to orchestrate other development centers and teams, and coordinate with the local department, teams, and people to make the project to succeed. So, but he doesn't have direct support and supervision of anybody.
Thank you very much. So, Felipe, please remind us one last time how to apply. Is there a time frame for application, deadlines, and maybe documents people will need to apply?
Yeah, thank you, Nicolas. Yes, you can apply through the link that Nicolas has put it here down at hr@almaobservatory.org jobs/opportunities. We have a specific timeline for both positions, which is October 19th. So you are more than welcome to apply. We are looking forward to see you on the applications report. So you have until October 19th to apply for this position. What are the requirements? Of course, we already have discussed a little bit about it in terms of knowledge and so on. But in terms of formalities, the CV in English, curriculum vitae in English. Also, we need some recommendations letters, referrals, information, and also a monthly gross salary expectations that you have expected for this position. And I would like to close the loop with this, Nicolas, that is very important for everyone here, that as an international organization, a part of the possibility to interact with different people from different part of the world, different backgrounds, professional and technical knowledge, and so on, we have a lot of benefits. So this is the selling part of the webinar. Really have very good benefits as an organization, especially for the people that have family, will help a lot. So in case you are interested in know more about ALMA, about the positions, in case you need something else, please do not hesitate to reach out to us, send us an email, and we will be more than happy to reply.
Excellent. Liz?
And if I can complement something quickly, that diversity and inclusion is a very important value here at ALMA. So we really welcome and encourage applications from all qualified candidates. So please think about applying.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you for that. So goodbye, everybody. Thank you for connecting. And I hope we receive lots of your applications in the coming days. Bye-bye. You want to talk something, Andrea, or you're just saying waving? You're just waving. Okay. Goodbye,
no,
everybody.
I was just saying bye to everybody, and thanks.
Okay, bye-bye.